Hiya, I'm Sam, back with another iOS 10 screencast. Today I'm going to take a look at how AV Capture Photo Output will allow you to capture live photos, so that you too can build an app that will make you feel like you're inside the world of Harry Potter. A live photo is composed of two parts. There's the photo itself, a normal full resolution JPEG, and then a little movie file that goes along with it. To capture a live photo, you need to provide the URL where the movie should be saved, and then provide an implementation that will handle saving that movie as part of the photo asset in the Photos library. I've already got an app that takes photos, so to get started, I need to configure the session to take live photos, and then update the settings object to specify where the live photo movie part should be saved. At the point that I add the photo output to the session, I need to specify that I'm planning on taking live photos. This is because this involves quite a lot of session reconfiguration, so if I do it at a later stage, the session will stop. I do that with photo_output.isLivePhotoCapture enabled, and I'm going to enable it if it's supported, which is available on the isLivePhotoCapture supported property. Hopping over to the main queue, I'm going to set the live photo switches on if live photo capture is supported. Now inside the capture photo method, I need to configure the photo settings to capture a live photo if that's what I've requested. So first I'm going to check whether or not the live photo switch is on and whether or not live photo capture is supported. If it is, the way that I enable it is by specifying a file name for the live photo capture video. I'm going to do that by grabbing a UUID, and I'm going to stick that inside the temporary directory. So I'm going to grab the temporary directory with ns temporary directory. I'm going to append on the end of there the UUID string I created with .mov on the end. And I just provide that to the live photo movie URL property on the photo settings. Just need to fix the spelling of component. And that settings object will now make sure that we capture a live photo. I've now configured the AV Capture Photo output to take a live photo, but I need to update my code to save it into the asset library. This is all part of the delegate object that I've created. At the time that I encode the JPEG, I'm also going to grab hold of the movie URL and update my utility function to save this as part of the same photo asset. Starting out with the capture did finish processing live photo to movie file at duration photo display resolved settings. At this point, the movie file has been written to the URL that I provided, that temporary directory. If there's an error, then I'm just going to print out the error and then quit doing what I'm working on. And then all I'm going to do is save off that live photo movie URL into a property on the class. I'm going to update the save to photo library utility function with the live photo movie URL so that it can be used to record live photos in addition to static JPEGs. Now all I'm going to do in here is unwrap the live photo movie URL if it exists. I'm going to create a PH asset resource creation options object, and within that I'm going to specify that it should move the file. I saved it in a temporary location. I want the photo library to take over management of that file. Then I can update the photo library creation request with an additional resource using the type new type paired video and specifying that file URL and passing in the options, the creation options that I made before. Now I need to update the call site for this save to photo library, and that's just in the bottom of this did finish capture for resolve settings delegate method. I'm going to add the live photo movie URL and just pass in the value from the property on this class. Now if I build and run, you can see that the live photo mode is selected by default. That means it's enabled. And if I take a photo, I have to jump into the Photos app at the moment and then take a look at that most recently taken one. And I push into it and you can see I've saved a live photo. Okay, good, so that's working, but I've left a really important piece of housekeeping out. And that is I created this temporary movie file, but I never got rid of it, and it's my responsibility to remove that file when I've finished with it. I've already got a cleanup method, so all I'm going to do is check whether that file exists, and if it does, I'll just delete it. I do that inside the delegate. I've got a cleanup method that gets called every time. Just in there I need to remove the temporary live photo movie. I do that if I can extract the path from the live photo movie URL. If I can, then I'm just going to do catch because I've got something that throws here. So I'm going to try file manager.default remove item at path and pass in the live photo movie path. And then the catch can just be print out an error saying wasn't able to delete it. Live photos record before and after when you actually hit the shutter button. It would be really useful to have a little label that appears on the screen to show you that you're still capturing after you've hit that shutter button. There are additional delegate methods that I can implement that will allow me to support this functionality, with the one slight fly in the ointment that in actual fact you can be recording multiple live photos at the same time. If I hit the shutter button and then hit it less than 1.5 seconds later, I will still be completing the recording of the previous live photo as I start recording the next live photo. As long as I understand that, this is really easy to manage with just a simple counter. Back in the capture photo method, I'm going to add a new closure to the photo capture delegate. That closure already exists on the delegate, although it's never called, and it's called capturing live photo. The input to this closure is a boolean, and it represents whether or not there's currently a live photo being taken. Each time currently capturing is true, then we add 1 to the counter, and when it's false we reduce it. Do that with self.current live photo captures plus equals currently capturing 1, otherwise -1. Now heading on to the main dispatch queue, then all I want to do is display a little label, capturing label, and I'm going to hide it if the current live photo captures is 0. So that's the handler for that. I now need to go into the delegate to wire this up. I'm going to use 2 new delegate methods for this. The first up is capture will begin capture for resolved settings. This is called right at the very start. I'm going to check whether or not I'm going to record a live photo by seeing whether the resolved settings have live photo movie dimensions that are non-zero. If I do, then I'm going to call that closure capturing live photo with true. That means I'm starting a live photo capture. And then I just need to do the opposite at the end, which is another delegate method. This one, capture, did finish recording live photo movie for eventual file at resolve settings. So at this point the capture is finished, but it's not ready to hand the movie over to you, but that's good enough for me. I can now use capturing live photos with false, and that'll decrement that counter back again. So now if I build and run and then take a live photo, when I hit the take photo button, you'll see the capturing label appear, and it'll disappear at the end of the live photo. And with that, I'm done. That's been a whistle-stop tour of what you need to do to be able to capture live photos in your own apps. Actually fairly straightforward, and I'm starting to quite like this AV Capture Photo Output API. Well, everything apart from its naming. Thanks very much for watching, and I shall see you again soon. Bye bye.